What's going on, everybody? Today we are going to talk about how do you manage your money effectively. Don't forget to hit that subscribe, like, and notification bell. Why? Because I'm going to help you get to a life that you absolutely love and building a life on your terms and nobody else. So how do we effectively manage our money? Well, many people would say, what is the left brain logical way to do that from a financial standpoint? And I am here to tell you that it is not only the left brain logical way to do it, but I am going to share some of the things to integrate your heart and your head into how to effectively manage your money and optimize it across the board. Number one, it's all about financial awareness. Those of you who are out there, especially in times like this with economics, the economy bouncing up and down and like not afraid of interest rates going up and afraid of inflation, what's this, what's that, choose to be aware. That is the biggest component. So if you're the one not opening up your financial statements, I need you to open them up. If you're not looking at how much debt you're creating because you're nervous about things, open up those envelopes for your debt. If you haven't sat down and said, where's my cash flowing out the door to? Keep in mind, I did not say the word budget. I do not want you to talk about a financial budget. Why? Because putting yourself on a budget puts you in a place of disempowerment. And I want you to stay financially empowered to where you choose how your cash flows. So super, super, super important for you guys to be financially aware. So no matter where it is that you're getting jammed up and not choosing to be financially aware, I want you to step into that and have the courage to step in, okay? So the second way of how to manage your money effectively is I want you to stay financially empowered. I mentioned that in the prior one. How do you stay financially empowered? Well, it's about looking at things saying, you know what? I did create all that debt. I have car debt, student loan debt, house debt, or whatever. And you are choosing to write it down on a piece of paper. You don't need a fancy spreadsheet. You don't need a fancy software to do it. Those are all just distractions on so many levels to not getting the job done. You could literally use paper and pen and write down, here's my debt. Here's the interest rate I'm paying. Here's the payment that I've been making. It's about choosing to be empowered to say, okay, I'm going to prioritize this list and I'm going to say, this is the one I'm paying the highest interest rate on. So I'm going to pay the most of that per month and pay the minimums on the rest, right? That's choosing to be financially empowered. On your cash flows, choosing to be financially empowered is actually like writing down and going and looking at it. You know, like I didn't really want to look at where some of my cash was going over the last few months because I know I was acting out. Why? You teach what you know from your own experience, right? So I sat down and I actually said, okay, where did it flow to over the last couple of months? And let me decide, is that where I really actually want it to flow moving forward? Or do I want to pivot and do I want to make some of those changes? So you decide on that. And that is staying financially empowered. It's also about the fact that, how about your investments out there? I ask a lot of people, why are you in what you're in? And they're like, I don't know, because it's part of the mutual fund or it's part of the ETF or it's part of this or part of that. Not many people can actually connect their hearts to the why they're investing in what they're investing in. And so the question is if you're going to stay financially empowered, do you like all those companies you're investing in? Do you like what they stand for and how they're affecting the world and people and humanity? Food for thought. That's another way. So those are 3 different ways that you can approach your financial empowerment, from looking at your debts, from looking at your cash flows, and then looking at your assets. Okay. The third way of how to effectively manage your money, I kind of mentioned it a little bit earlier, where it's about, I want you to decide to have like a financial date night. I don't even care if you're single and not married or not with a couple and you don't share your money with anybody. It's about having that financial checkup. Maybe it's a date night. Maybe it's just your checkup. My clients that are the most effective in doing this, they actually come in and we do consulting appointments. They come in every January, they pay me my consulting fee, and they say, okay, here I am, blow holes through it. How can I be more effective? Great. That's a financial checkup. So if you need a partner or a planner or a parent or a cousin or a friend, anyone who's financially more effective than you are or financially where you'd like to be, those are great people to have these financial checkups with because it's an accountability system and helps you when you might hit a weak spot. And it also positions you to be lucky to actually create what it is that you want in your life. So, what is the fourth way to effectively manage your money? I want you to realize who and what are your leaky containers. What do I mean by that? I've had parents tell me, like, my kid's been out of college for 5 years and they still have my credit card. That's a leaky container. You have a spouse that you've been trying to keep on the cash flow game plan and they're just not playing the same alignment with you. And that's a leaky container. It's about boundary holding, whether it's your kids or your spouse. And remember, everybody is important. And it's okay to hold these boundaries with love and compassion along the way and give them a bridge to slowly hand them their own financial rope or let them hang themselves by their own rope because they're choosing those things as opposed to you enabling them creating your leaky container. Quite often, leaky containers come from you enabling other people because you're not allowing other people to step into their financial power because you're bailing them out. So take a look at where in your life are you creating leaking containers? Are you working so much at your job that you're not spending enough time with your family? And that emotional bank account with your spouse is now overdrawn. And guess what? The financial leaky container is it's going to result in a divorce if you don't recognize and realize that that needs to be nurtured in your life as well. Because then otherwise you're going to wind up with a leaky container and 50% of your net worth and a big bunch of your income is going to go out the door. Everyone thinks they're doing it for their career and they're being providers. But guess what? You might be creating a leaking container. So take a look at in your life where you might be creating financial leaky containers. I have one more, how to effectively manage your financial life. And that goes to, I need you to choose your financial life and take those action steps in what you choose. It's one thing to decide, hey, I want X, Y, and Z, and I want to do this A, B, C. But it's another thing to actually start to shift your financial energy to those things. It's super important in that process. That was a tongue twister. To actually remember, the universe responds to action. So you have to take these action steps. So if you want your financial energy to shift and you want to create a new reality, no matter what your cash flows look like, you've got to start putting money in a different direction that you're doing month after month. You have to shift something or nothing is going to shift. Thanks, everybody. If you want some help or some coaching, you can take my online course called Impact. We'll put the link below. It's a 6-week course that you'll be with me weekly for 6 weeks long. You can also get my book, The 4 Spiritual Laws of Money, and or join us on juliemurphy.com, and I am going to help you attain real wealth because we deal with real people, real lives to get them to a life that is on their terms. Ciao for now. See you guys. Bye.